So before I started recording, I looked back at what exactly I needed to do and I figured it out. So now I'm not as lost as the last video. So where I left off was we were working on the blocked app list and how we can save that data into our app for the local cache. And that way people can retrieve the list whenever they come back into the app. And we still haven't decided the specific edge cases, like if someone deletes a blocked app, what exactly does it do? But for now, we're just going to focus on saving it. So I'm really happy that we got everything compiled and ready to go. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn debugging back on. There has to be a better way than setting this Boolean value that just turns it on for us. And true doesn't work probably because it's capital. No, it just hates me. All right, cool. We're good. And now that that's good, we're just going to run this. And make sure that everything's working. And then we will start working on the, where is it? Blocked app. This is the blocked app page. We're looking for the profile app here. So this is going to be the class object of a profile app or an app that belongs to a profile. I was trying to think of a different name, but honestly, this seems good enough. So let's see. So far, we have a string. We don't need this test start anymore. I'm actually not sure why this is. Oh, this is just giving us an error because we commented it out. Yeah, I don't know how to mock app data that we're importing, mostly because there's one particular part that we can't mock, and that is, let me show you. That is the icon decoding. So essentially we need to take an icon byte stream and we need to decode it. I don't know if we can decode a blank string. And if we do, then when we run this through a mock test, then we'll have an empty icon. And I don't know if we should test if the icon or the image is there or not, but yeah, there's just like a lot of things that we have to take into account. So I commented it out for now. But yeah, so right now the clicking doesn't work, which is fine. Right now we only have a trigger for a print statement, so that's kind of nice. But let's try and continue cleaning this up. So I think this is okay. This gives a profile app, and then we have to see, honestly, I kind of forgot where we put it. So let's see where we generate it, and it seems like we generate it from the focus page model. All right, let's see here. Let's open up these two files. All right, so profile app is created. Right, okay, so we make a list of profile apps and we do from JSON. Let me see. Okay, so from JSON creates, right, okay, so this creates an object. Okay, yeah, so this populates the app. So the app currently has nothing in it. It does app from JSON. Maybe we should change this to create from JSON. I think that's okay. And then pretty much when we go into from JSON, it takes the string that's associated with each one and it logs it into the class properties or the class variables. And then the next thing to do is we need to store it, right? Yeah, we need to store it. So this gets the app list. This also gets an app list. And we don't have to touch this. We should actually write a note about what this app list represents. App list I don't know how to denote variables in a comment. Right. How to denote variables in a comment. Any method or variable uses square brackets. Okay, so that's what I thought. So let's do app list hold generates and holds a dynamic list grabbing app data from the device. This list is not stored in memory. That should be good enough, right? I thought that format comment control alt C. That's what I did. Oh, I guess it's all in one line, so it's fine. How does it do that? Is it because it's two slashes? No. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's probably this. It's probably the braces, to be honest. Yeah, it's the braces. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not this commenting plugin is not very compatible with Flutter, but that's okay. So I wanted to write this because it's important to know that this is not the blocked app list. This is just an app list that's generated from the device list. Okay, so now we need to set things up in the personal profile. So that would be here. And we just want to do something here. So let's do list profile app. And because we made that change with packages, it's just really nice here. It imports profile app as part of the package. We don't have to worry about incompatibility between importing a library header or a package header. And if you're wondering what exactly is the difference between a package header and a library header, a package header uses this type of format here, package and then directories, and a library header uses relative directories, so dot dot slash dot dot slash. And the thing that makes it different is I think that the code in Flutter references code from different places. And sometimes if you use a mix of different imports, it'll confuse where certain class objects are coming from. Is it coming from your library directory? Is it coming from your package? And it makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. Maybe someone could explain it better, but it's better to just stick to one or the other. And I found that it's easier to stick with package directories, mostly because when you import a class object that's somewhere in your repository, it'll import it as a package by default. And I'm sure there's a way to change that, but I don't know how. So we'll say that this represents the block app list, and by a default value, I guess we can, I mean, does it really matter? Honestly, we could just do this. The blocked app list should be empty, and we want to do this. So blocked app list is equal to JSON blocked app list cast profile app and we can do blocked app list here. And what we're doing is we're just setting up the way to save a string into a JSON object, and that'll go into our local cache. Yeah, so when we're saving it into a JSON file, when we're saving it into a JSON file, we just care that it's dynamic, because the thing that gets saved into a JSON object for some reason is map string dynamic. So that's why we cast our object, which is a profile app, into a dynamic casting. And then when we update our personal profile, which is also done over here, which pretty much says here, like, if this isn't our first run, we want to take the local data, because this is because a person has data to pull. And if we do that, then we want to grab the blocked app list and we want to cast it into a proper list. And this JSON string should be okay to convert everything properly. Also, yeah, I guess this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, the from JSON and the from JSON and to JSON will do a good job. It'll do a good job of just converting the JSON object properly. I think that's all we really need to do. There shouldn't be any issues. I'm pretty sure, like, if I save this, there shouldn't be any issues. And also, if I let's say we should be in this section here now that it's not our first run, I believe. Let me make sure. The debug profile. Wait, what is this? What's happening here? I totally forgot why I created this debug personal profile. I should just do this side by side. Hold on. Split right. Okay, cool. And then we can just go side by side here, and we can see why this is different. Okay, so it seems like nothing else is different here. The only difference is that it clears the preferences every time, which means that it empties out and then it um it empties out, and that way we always replicate what our first run is. So I guess what we want to do here is we want to do here is we want to do a read personal profile, and this returns a list, I believe. It returns a map, so we'll just do a print statement. Print this out real quick. All right, and let's restart this and see if we can get something. All right, cool. So we printed out our default values, and we can see that blocked app list is there, and also it shows an empty list because on our first run it just saves the personal profile, but that's totally okay for now. And if we save this, pretty sure if we save this, yeah, no, this only runs when we first load it in. Okay, cool. And the reason why we clear our preferences to start is because we are running into issues where we were running into like incorrect states because the preferences don't necessarily get unsaved when you're dealing with a local cache of a simulator even. And we just want to kind of keep it clean for now. And then obviously we can turn off debugging whenever to test what it's like realistically. But for now, we have set up our profile app class object. And now the next thing to do is we need to populate the blocked app list. So now we need to put in the logic for the blocked app page. So that's over here. Just close everything except this. And let's see what we do here. So the blocked app page generates everything, and essentially what we want to do is we want to keep a track of which items are being selected. And then when we click this button here, we want the apps to be saved to the blocked app list. Okay, so let's map this out. Where should we put this? Should we do this in our design doc? I mean, we haven't updated the design doc in forever, but maybe it would be good to just map things out even if it is a little messy. So let's see here. We could just actually create a new timeline. It's been a while. So let's just say how to, or what do you call it? Logic for blocking an app. 1, select apps, select existing apps that you want to block. 2, keep track of what apps are currently selected in the list. So this means that the profile app or profile, I think this takes code as well, but I can do this. Nice. Profile app should, what should we say here? Profile app Well, do we care if it's a profile app? Yes, because we're manipulating the values here, and we want the specific app list here to yeah, we want the app list here to have a selected value. So does that mean that no, we can't have a Boolean that says it's selected here. So honestly, we should keep track of what apps are currently selected, and we should say create a new array of Boolean values with default value being false or not being selected. Honestly, I shouldn't have these in parentheses. It's a full out thought now. So create a list of, sure, Boolean values with default value being false for not being selected. And when a row is selected, change to true, obviously. And then upon clicking the block apps button, a few things happen. We iterate through the checked or selected list to see which apps through selected lists and save those apps into the blocked app list in personal profile, which can be retrieved from the main model. So that's the first thing for sure. We iterate through and save those apps. 2, we remove those we reload the app, or we reload the widget that holds the list of apps, filtering out apps that are in blocked app list. So we iterate through the selected list, we save those into the block app list, which can be retrieved. We reload the widget that holds the list of apps, and that filters out the apps that are in blocked app list. And that's pretty much it. When we click the button, it wipes the ones that don't exist, and then it's just a part of our blocked app list. Yes, I think that's good enough. Okay, so the first thing we have to work on is obviously we need to focus on this, selecting the apps. So I guess we'll start by making it so that when you tap this button, it'll make it a different icon, right? So let's say How do we do that? Okay, to do that, we already need our array of, So we need to say list boolean, or is it bool? Boolean. Bool. Selected list. Honestly, we don't even have to say app list. We could just say selected apps, and we can say list dot filled yeah, filled app list dot length, and we'll say false. Okay, cool. And then this maps to be associated with each profile app. And let's see. I think this is fine. The reason that I'm hesitating is because I feel like, let's say after we click the button and there's like, let's say there's 30 apps and we block one. Now there's 29. The list of apps would populate to show 30 still technically. Unless, no, because we'd reload the widget, and when we reload the widget, we reload the app list, which is done dynamically, but in here we also check that it's not a part of the blocked app list. And I know that sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but I'll try to make it make sense here. So here in the app list, we're grabbing it and we're adding the app. But before we add the app, we want to say okay, where's focus page model created? Because essentially what I need now is I need to say, go into the personal profile and retrieve the blocked app list to double check that it's not a part of it. But in order to do that, we need access to the model from here. Okay, cool. So the focus page model does get past the context, which means it should be fine. We can try it. We should be able to grab it. It's also not efficient to populate the list of blocked app lists, and for each single app, we check if it's there. I mean, it's not that much. Someone won't have like 900 apps, so it should be relatively quick, but it definitely isn't efficient. Okay, let's try to... Let's try to see how we can get the provider. So we can try this. Try doing this. Alright, I don't think this is efficient, but that's okay. We might actually have to actually create a different function, because this is going to check for a specific app, and the app may not be exactly the same. Now let's see if this works. I mean, I guess for now it... Right, it seems to be broken. Let's see. Change notifier. I just need to restart this. Probably has some weird thing going on, maybe? Oh, it might be that the main model... Oh. It might be that this is created before that one. Like we're asking for the main model, but it's not created yet. Maybe we should move this. Yeah, it seems like it's broken. Try this. Okay, that worked. So main model first, then focus page, and that works like a charm. We should really say we should really compare the strings, because this isn't going to be correct because they're not going to share the same addresses eventually. This is its own array entity, and it's going to hold, like, let's say this blocked app list holds Snapchat. This version of Snapchat that represents the app is going to be stored in this at a specific address, and the app that's pulled from, that's just created, is going to be different. So this is never going to be true. So we need to create a custom function, I think, that just says check um, check app so maybe something like this. You could say for app in profile. For blocked app, and we need a type for blocked app if blocked app dot package name dot, is there an equal compare to? Should we do an equal or should we do compare to? Does compare, okay, let's see the relation. Forward relation equals 0. Oh, less than 0, 0, 0. Okay. So yeah, no. Let's just do package name. It's equal to app dot package name return true. And if it goes through this, it's return false. And this iteration will have a O of n time complexity, because in the worst case scenario, we will have to iterate through every single app to find if it exists or not. So now we say this. If it exists, if it doesn't exist, if it does not exist in blocked apps, and since this is a prior function, we'll write checks if an apps package name is found in blocked app list. All right, cool. Okay, so this checks if it's in the blocked app list, and if it's not, then add it to the list. And this will be done. Oh shoot, this is done only once. This is done only once. Okay, so this generates, I just realized that we don't, when we, and we only get this list when we instantiate focus page model. It doesn't actually update when we do this. So actually, the correct thing to do here, I mean, this is good because this will always make sure that when we reload the device or when we restart the app, we will make sure that we filter out things in the blocked app list after it gets retrieved. But now, this doesn't affect our current state, like when a user is already here. So what we want to do, okay, what we want to do here is we want to say, we should also remove the entry that is currently in the app list attached to the focus page model. Okay, so that's good too. So this list always gets generated when we first restart the app, but while it's existing in our widgets, we want to grab the app list from the focus page and we want to delete it. We want to delete the app at the specific index. So, all right, so for this, okay, and this container that has this button here is also within this builder. So we can always retrieve and communicate between the two widgets. So that's awesome. And so now that we have this, we want to say on tap, selected apps, index is equal to, is there a way to flip like dot? Okay, there's nothing here. So we want to say it's equal to, we want to say that this is equal to whatever it's not currently. So we want to negate it, right? Is this the only way to negate it? Let's see. Flutter, how to easily negate booleans. Nope. It's just no, I had it right. So we can say is not equal to that, and then we can say, we can see what this is here. Okay, so let's see if this works. So this is true because we just clicked it, and it's false when it's not. Awesome. And then we want to say that the icon is based on selected apps index. And we want to say that when it is false, it is that. And when it's true, oh, no, sorry. This is the wrong area. This is the leading icon. We want it to be the trailing icon. So we want to say that it's a circle outline when it's not, and we want to do this. We want to say icons dot circle. Let's see if there's a check mark somewhere. Maybe check. This has to be somewhere like this one, maybe. Like that. Okay, it is not working. Why is it not working? Maybe. Oh, it's not working because every time we tap it, we need to set the state to refresh it. Right? All right, let's try now. Okay, that did not work. The selected app state is changing. It's probably because these app lists are refreshing at all times and it's always remaining false. Right? Let me see. True, true, true. Yeah. Okay, so it's just remaining true at all times. So that's the problem. So does that mean that we want... Because the thing is that we can only populate this app list once this is done building, which means how can we do this? Because this is just a list of booleans, but we can only populate it when we can only populate it when we have the list, the number of apps, right? Let's see. All right, so now we're getting true false again, which is good, but it's not updating everything. How can we get around this? How did we do it for the other one? Yeah, we should look at how we referenced our old schedule page, which would be this one. Okay, let's see here. Create schedule page row, checkmark visible is equal to selected schedule index. Okay, so this one, okay, so this one we grabbed a model. Maybe we should create a property. Yeah, maybe we should create a property up here. And then we can say here if selected apps dot is empty, something like this. Then we should do selected apps is something like that. Okay, cool. So if selected apps is this, and then we can do, let's say that we do selected apps. Let's print it out. Right, false, false. Very good. And let's print it out. Let's print it out here too. All right, so print it out when this first generates, it's empty. And then if I were to do this, oh wait, I didn't, all right, so if it's empty, it looks like this. And then, why does it also show 3 times? I don't know, but we do this, it's a true false, and it'll show it twice. Nice. So that looks good, minus the flicker. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time when that flicker won't exist. But maybe this is just a glitch. I wonder why it flickers. Maybe because it takes a little bit of time for the icon to generate. All right, let's see. Let's try to optimize that, yeah? So in profile app.dart, instead of generating the image all the time, we should save it. So we should say image all right, let's see. Flutter to create an empty image. All right, let's ask Bard. Bard, do your thing. We'll see how this goes. I don't know how to create an empty image. Maybe I should just use a fake image. I think what's happening is it's not saving properly. Let's try to do this. And let's say save icon is equal to this. Turn save icon, and we should say if saved icon dot late start how to check if initialized. Nullable. Okay. Let's do this and say saved icon is equal to null. And what's the problem? Oh, we can just do that? So if saved icon is null, then equal to that, and then return Can I return this? Yeah, I can. So it returns saved icon if it exists, otherwise it equals that. All right. So if I do this now, nice, it doesn't flicker anymore because we generate the icon and it saves it the first time. And if we refresh, I'm sure if we refresh, we'll see a little bit of a flicker, but that is the only flicker that we get. And maybe we can even do something to populate the icons before we enter this list so that all the icons are already pre-prepared. So yeah, I think that would be good. Yeah, I think we can do that pretty easily. We can just do, honestly, if we do it here, would that work? Like if we do that, and then we add it to the list and we go app.icon, like just like that. I'm pretty sure if we refresh here, there won't be a flicker at all. Oh no, there is. There's a little bit of a flicker. Let me move this here. Let's see. Okay, there's a little bit of a flicker still. which is okay. I think we can try and figure that out as we go along and see why that's happening, but for the most part, it's not flickering anymore when we select this, so maybe that would be the next thing that we dig into. Thank you guys for joining. Hope that you were productive and coded along with me, or you learned something just from watching. If you like the content, then subscribe so that I could just keep making these videos for you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.